Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to use the templates so that you can use that teacher effectiveness rubric, and then it will merge and have a separate sheet for each teacher. So I'm going to share my screen, and you should see my screen now. So I'm going to show you, you're going to go to Google Drive, and you're going to take a new folder. And this folder is going to be your, I'm going to call mine TE since I already have a teacher effectiveness folder. Teacher effective rubrics. I know which one's which. I'm going to click create. So now I'm in this folder, and I want to say on a new, I'm going to use a new Google Doc. And I'm going to go to File, New, from Template. And I'm going to use this template right here. And it says template Jefferson County Teacher Effectiveness Merge Tags. And you won't need that for a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and have it open so it's made. I'll go ahead and close that. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say, okay, I'm still in this folder. And I'm going to say New Forms. So I'm going to say, go to File, hit New, from Template. And it's going to also give me that as this final template because it took me a couple to get it right. And it says Jefferson County Effectiveness Rubric. I'm going to say use this template. And I'm going to close those two at the top. And so now we have our rubric and it's ready to go. So now I have my own copy. It does say copy at the top, so I might want to change that to maybe my school name. So I'm going to just put school. And that way I know that this one's mine for my school. I'm going to go to View Live Form. I'm going to, I kind of already have made one, but I can go ahead and put like teacher's name. I'll put my Jefferson County email. I'm going to say fourth grade, my school, a date, there's a date, evaluator. These are already kind of in there, and click continue, and I'm going to go through and I can fill out this. One of the things is that we have this already on here if you need to zoom in, and this kind of gives us that rubric that's already there. And so we look at the rubric, we decide which one the teacher has for explicit instruction, and I'm going to click it. So I'm going to click ineffective, and then I'm going to click the check, and it's going to take me to the ineffective checklist. And so I'm going to click on different options, differentiated instruction, and I'm going to click on one of those. I'm going to click continue. Now on the differentiated instruction, it had like the teacher sometimes and all this stuff, so you always have to click the teacher sometimes so it makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and click on a couple of these. I did just click the first one just so it'll make sense when we read it, and then I'll click continue. Classroom management, I'm just going to click around so we can have one filled out. As you notice, it takes you to whatever you choose. So if I choose formative assessment, I look at this, I say, hey, this teacher is developing. I can click developing and then click continue, and it takes me to the developing checklist. So it just kind of jumps you around. And I'll get them all done. You don't have to check all of them on the checklist. You do have to check one of these though. Make a decision. I'm just clicking. Maybe it's kind of, we want exemplary technology because I love technology. There's a place to put comments. Great. And then I'm going to click submit. If you've used forms before, your response. I forgot I zoomed in so I could see the rubric. Your responses, of course, you're going to go back to the final one. You can click view responses, and you can see the responses that go across the top here, which is hard to read, and if you have multiple teachers is a pain. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to open up so you're going to do this for all your teachers. I'm going to go in here and open up the file that I already have kind of done. This one I've already put in 4 teachers. As you can see, it goes across. I kind of just made sure all of them work. This was kind of my test one. So I have got, let's say that these are all my teachers that I'm going to use. So now I go in here and I want to click add-on. Okay, and so and then I'm going to use the add-on AutoCrat. If you do not have the add-on already, you have to go to get add-ons, and you'll find AutoCrat in here somewhere in here. Of course, it's not at the top where I need it the first time. You can search right here. I can put AutoCrat. There it is, and I click where, like what says is plus free. I'm just going to click plus. I can click plus free right there, and it'll put it into my add-ons. So once I have that, I'm going to click AutoCrat. I'm going to click launch, and it's going to put this up. You will not have this one right here. I'm going to take that off because you won't have it. I'm going to say new merge job. Well, I'm just going to thinking about it. And then you're going to go into your drive, and we're going to find that template that you opened a while ago. Remember when you went to the Google Drive and opened it? It should be in there. It's probably in that folder. Here's mine. It's going to be right there. And so I'm going to select it. I hope that's the right one. I have a bunch of these copies already in here because I was having to test it out. And you're going to wait for it to load. Here's email. I'm sure he wants that popping up. All right, so I'm going to name the merge job. I'm just going to call it Teacher Effectiveness Rubric. I'm going to call it 1 since I already have that set. You don't have to call yours 1. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go down and make sure everything matches up. So student D5, student C. As you see, I'm making sure everything matches up. Optional comments. Everything looks good. And I'm going to click save. I'm going to go here. Now, you see where it says teacher name? I'm going to take that and slide it over here. So now it's going to actually name each of these merge files the teacher's name. And then I'm going to put teacher, spell, teacher effectiveness rubric results. And the teachers will get that. Now, I want it to be a Google Doc, but I can make it a PDF where they can't change anything on it. That's up to you. You can email. I can actually go in here and I can say, okay, teacher email, and I can actually give that to the teacher's email, send it to the teacher's email and call this their teacher effectiveness rubric. And again, that's if you want to send them that. You might want to do that later. Once you have that file, you can share it with them later if you want to go back and double check it and look at it, or talk to them about it before you just send it out. Might be a good idea. But that's up to you. I'm going to take off the email. There's advanced settings. You can name the folder. So I can say, okay, add folder, and I want it to be inside that TE folder. And I'm going to, well, I guess I got to go in and create. Okay, I got to go in here, go back to my drive, TE rubrics. I'm going to have to go new folder, and I'm going to call this merging results, create. Okay, and so now that folder's there. So I can go back over here to my merge, and I can open this, and well, it should have the folder in there. Well, all right, we'll just say it has to be in that folder. So I'm gonna click select, and that makes sure it goes into that folder. All right, and I'm going to save it. Then I'm going to click Run Merge, and it's going to tell me over here that it's merging. 0 jobs merged so far, so it's going through there. I got one. And so it says, okay, it says it's ran. So I'm going to go into my TE rubrics, and there are all my results, and I can take them and move them into the results. So if I double click this, you're going to see that there's Miss Bliss and there's all her information. These are the things I checked off. I know it's kind of all in one big paragraph. If you want to, you can always go in and, that's why I said you might want to wait to email it to them. It does put a comma between each one. So you might want to do that. That's up to you. You can change it however you want to. If you didn't email it to them and then eventually you want to send them the results, you can just click share and put in their email address and have it where they can view it. And just put in the email address. Make sure it's your Jefferson County Google account. And then it'll send them those results. And so that's how you do it. It looks more scary than it really is, but it's really not that bad, I promise. So, all right, if you have any questions, you can always email me.